LZ, Ryan. Julio wants a new contract. And I don't want to say, does he deserve a new contract? I hate when people say that because I don't want to ever count anybody's money. But Tim makes a good point. He made most of the money in the early part of his deal. So now he's like, okay, I want more money. Does it work that way?
You know, we talked about this on my radio show, Mornings with Keyshawn, George, and LZ. Perhaps you've heard of it.
I've heard of it.
Yes. Emmy, Obie Award-winning, and Tony Award-winning show.
I was on it once.
And even Tony, yes. We actually kind of looked at the agent, Julio Jones' agent, for the reasons that Tim Hasselbeck is pointing to. It's that you're the one that didn't bet on yourself, essentially. You signed a 5-year deal after having a monster season, and now you're in a situation where it's like, yeah, guys have passed you by monetarily, but they got you for 3 more deals, 3 more years.
Right.
And oh, by the way, your production has been dipping since you signed that contract.
Is that his fault?
He's got 3. It's not his fault, but you don't go and say, give me more money when you have 3 touchdowns and you got 3 years left in your deal. Like the number of receptions that you get with terms of touchdowns shouldn't match the number of years you have in your deal. So I get where he's coming from, but it just doesn't seem like the timing for something like this is prudent.
If you're as good as Julio Jones is, and he's arguably the best receiver in the league, and you want to ask for something, like I can't blame him for doing that. As Hasselbeck just said, if you get a bump, then it means it worked. But it's funny the way we talk about these NFL deals. We all are really bad at this. I mean, I watched a day's worth of programming asking, is Saquon Barkley worth it, when it goes, whoever was picked at that slot was going to make that contract no matter what. It had nothing to do with even Saquon Barkley, the player. So when you look at these average annual salaries here for Julio Jones, yes, on paper it's $10 million this year, but as Tim just points out, it was $47 million up front.
Money,
So, like, if Cari gets paid $5 a show and I get paid, let's say, $1 a show.
Yeah, that would be appropriate.
All right.
That would be appropriate.
And I would totally understand it. Okay, so Cari makes $5 a show, but on the payment, the way it works is you only get 50 cents for Friday's show, and I'm still making my dollar rate. Does that mean I make more than you? Well, of course it doesn't.
Right.
But that's what these guys will argue publicly, and everybody falls for it all the time.
Wait, but you just said something I thought was interesting. We're really bad at this. I do go out of my way not to say.
I'm not saying
No, not me per se.
I'm trying to fit in.
Their worth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because
no,
I can't determine their worth. But do you understand? It is on his agent. But I understand why he would ask for money, because the situation changes.
Ask away.
Ask away.
Ask away. I mean, we can't determine a person's worth, but we certainly can look at the tape and also look at the stats, and that's where we get a return of investment. And I would argue.
But is that his fault? Is that the OC's fault? Is that the quarterback's fault? Who's not getting him the ball? I mean, there's so many different.
I'm not saying it's a fault, but I am saying this, that the number of receptions that he's gotten has been relatively consistent. It's been the touchdown receptions that's been different. Now, I'm not sure if the offensive scheme is going to punch it in with the running back versus throwing it to him. I don't know. But what I do know that if I'm like running the Falcons' business and Julio Jones says I need to get paid more, I gave you a lot up front and you gave me 3 touchdowns last season.
This is what I am able to take away from what these gentlemen said. I get paid $5 a show. He gets paid $1 a show. And
you guys get paid?
And he's here just for fun.